Hi English 145 students, this is Ms. Tejada and I want to welcome you to week 12. Hopefully you would have received Ms. Draban's announcements letting you all know that we are open and back to our normal hours, which are listed here. And we have limited tutoring back in the lab, so we'll have about 2 to 3 tutors available to help you all out with lab assignments or one-on-one tutoring. We only have about 4 weeks left in the semester, so we really encourage you all to do these assignments in the lab so you could get some meaningful feedback and make the most of your lab experience so you can learn all that you can in these remaining 4 weeks. All right, so let's look at what is going on this week by clicking on Course Map and scrolling all the way down to week 12. Now, we are winding down in the semester, and so the purpose of week 12 is to help prepare you for your in-class final exam. And if you've never taken an in-class final exam for English at LASC, the way it works is that you get an article ahead of time so that you can become familiar with it, but you don't get the prompt until the actual day of the final. So the purpose of week 12 is to help you get familiar with that process. And so for week 12, we're giving you the article and giving you some tips on how to be successful in that final exam. And then next week, week 13, you're going to take a practice final exam. So you will learn some great tips on how to do very well on that final exam. Okay, so let's look at part 1. And we're going to click on this final exam tips. And this is English 28, but it will also help you, obviously, for English 145. So here it is, and you can blow it up. But here's some final, oh, I think it's still loading. Yes, there it is. Here's some final exam tips. You should read through this PowerPoint and take some notes so that you know exactly what to do when you take that final exam yourself. All right, so that's part 1. And to get to part 2, you can just click here on assignment 12 and click on part 2. And you're going to click this blue link here. And these are just more tips about what you can do to be successful on your in-class final exam. And so we encourage you to take notes. Since you won't be able to, take this home and proofread it and spend a lot of time, this is going to give you some tips on how to quickly plan and execute your essay. Okay, so let's click back on this tab. That was the assignment portion. Let's look at the project, which is where you get to practice what you've just learned. So in the lab, we have printed articles for you. So make sure to ask one of the tutors to give you that printed article so that you can do this assignment. Now, after you have carefully read Ohio's failed educational system, Forced Desperate Mom's Hand, and you have annotated it by highlighting important quotes or looking up words you don't understand, you are then going to answer these questions. And by answering these questions, you'll have a very clear understanding of what the article was about. Make sure to use complete sentences to read the questions carefully and answer all parts. And you're going to do that here in this text box. If you're not quite finished and you need to leave, make sure to click Continue Later. And you can click Finish after you've raised your hand and a tutor has reviewed your responses. So that is it for week 12. We hope that in doing this practice final, it's going to prepare you to be very successful for your actual in-class final towards the end of the semester. Now, the last thing I want to show you is the optional activities. So we're going to scroll on down to week 12, optional activities, just in case you finish a little bit early. And so we have the free write, of course, that you can always do. Optional videos on MLA format, if that's something that you're still struggling with. And our In the News is back, and we are going to be looking at the Baltimore mom who was praised for hitting her son who was rioting. And so if we go to discussions and private messages, and then here to class discussions, you can get to the In the News. And so there's this mom, Toya Graham, who's been receiving a lot of praise for finding her son and hitting him. And so here's the original video that you can check out. And here's a CNN video with some commentary. And this is a very interesting article by Stacy Patton, who suggests that we should not be celebrating this mother who has hit her child. So we highly recommend that you read this very interesting article, and then you can answer one or all of these questions. And you can do that by hitting post reply here, or you can reply respectfully to one of your classmates by clicking quote within their reply. All right, so that is it for week 12. We're very happy to see you all, and we'll see you in the lab.